boys. Good job.
Hello peeps. I better do a spin down. I'm going to jump in the Discord chat with Peter, James.
Serious change. Is it? It's not Kyle, is it?
Yeah, I'll take part all this on.
Good morning, fellas.
Imagine that would be epic, wouldn't it?
Oh, I forgot I got to press shift to say hello to you guys. I was like, morning, fellas. I never was ignoring me.
Yeah. Most brutal race you can find.
Maybe they still are ignoring me. You guys hear me now? Is that new? Discord did that usual thing where it says you can't talk. I'll go do a spin down. Hey, unpair. Yeah, Josh.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm just doing a spin down.
On are you now? There you go.
Good morning. Good morning.
So many screens.
Morning spin.
Seconds to get points off you.
Mighty training.
That's it. A couple of months ago, we all wanted to go sub 200. Now it's like we're all going sub 100.
Right, managed it, yeah.
I'm going to be going back. I keep forgetting to press shift.
You just need to do lots of the tiny races. Yeah.
I'm going to be going backwards while everyone goes forwards.
Outside riding isn't do you good, is it?
We got Josh Harris watching. I think he's down in the 60s, low 60s.
We must have a pretty good draft percentage for our team. Must be pretty good.
Yeah, Josh wants me to join the Aero CT team. Would almost be top 10 then. I'm not leaving the burrito, so.
You can't afford to lose. Well, actually, we've got some good numbers at the moment.
Josh is 50.
Join, that'd be epic, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Josh and Mark are 55 and 57.
Why is he? Why does he stay in Wahoo Golf? What does it do for him? Does he get anything out of it?
He wants to be associated with Ed, doesn't he? I'm guessing that silence is laughter. I got my stupid hair again. I've got to change my fans. Maybe I'll get a headband. I'm doing brilliant warm up here.
Oh.
Hey John.
This first one's 2.8k.
I think they're all 2 bridges loop, aren't they?
Yeah. The first one's yours, Pete. It's the finishes at the JW Bridge finish.
Right.
First sprint back.
Yep.
Yep.
And then it gets longer and longer from there until eventually it finishes with the whole lap.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about my tactics on this first finish because usually you hold back just to get the draft with the pack, but we've got ambles. So, and also you've got to watch those ghosties off the front. I'm going to use camera 7 to keep an eye on ghost riders. I've got my Bluetooth headphones.
So I'm going to go 2 ways, isn't it? Everyone's going to hold back, and it's going to be a sprint from the back, from the top of the little downhill, or everyone's going to go really early, and that's just going to not work.
That will be fun.
I think as it's the first one, everyone's probably going to tend to go longer, because they're still fresh.
Yeah, I'm going to
2.8k.
I'm not going to chase anyone. I'm just going to hope that I get pulled through with the group.
I think the anvil lasts so long, you can pop it before you get to the top of the crest, and it will still take you pretty much to the finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely lasts the whole length of that descent easily.
If we get the ammo. Some other power up.
Oh, you're in the A's, aren't you, John? Hey, David.
What happened to Lee Baxter? I thought he was doing it, and Chris.
Problem is, everyone's doing it now, so I'm not getting my BS
Coming
points.
at last minute.
I was one of the early. What is it, OP?
Lee is here. I see.
Oh,
Is at the front? Yeah.
Looks like Lee's the person to beat now,
Yeah,
after his
Yeah.
blistering performance on Tuesday.
yeah. No, but what's that back? I didn't realise he beat you up the climb, didn't
It was good, like 15 seconds in front of me.
he? Yeah.
Smoked it.
I've got my ghost power up.
That's miles behind. Right from the start.
I should be ghosting my stomach. I'm 77 kilos
Should have
now.
gone a bit
Bloody
harder
hell.
at the start. Really.
To think
Oh,
I
I
used to be
should've
down to
just gone for
70,
the sprinter.
73. If I was 73, I'd be crushing it. Mind you, I wouldn't be putting out as much power, would I?
What Kyle said he done. And then he went for a
Pretty much
sprint
at
and
the
then
back.
just
I
blew
was
off.
pretty much at the back anyway, so I didn't get many.
Let's see my
I
headset.
wouldn't have got many less.
They
finish
work
points
right.
if I'd have been alive.
They work fine when I'm riding, but when I'm talking on the stream, see if my earbuds fall out.
Really?
Good luck, guys.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yes.
Yep. Remind me to
not
start the
really
races,
good.
okay?
Entertaining himself.
Warm up race number 1. Recon ride. Rico ride? Not recon. It's always a fast
Oh, I've got
downhill.
my burrito jersey on.
Must be Chris behind me. Who is that? Oh, Lee. It's going to be hard to beat Lee in these races, I reckon. He's flying at the moment. I've got the anvil. Use 7 view to see if anyone flies off the front. It's kind of hard. Should be able to see him on the map. 1ASM view. Matthias, how you going? It's going to be a sprint, this one. Maybe not. Someone's attacked.
Come on, boys. Big sprint coming. All in. Let's go.
Wrong gear. I was well over geared then. I shouldn't have changed my train difficulty. That's on Mark. I saw. There's John. Nice one, John. Lee. Nice one, Lee. 13th.
4th of 4. Fucking hell. Oh, something's behind me.
I changed my train difficulty so I wouldn't run out of gears. And then I doing like 50 RPM.
That one's a bit like the one we done in Neokyo last week, where if you're at the back, it's so hard to get to the front because the speed's so high.
Yep. That's what I was thinking was going to happen on that one. But I couldn't be fucked to try and attack early.
I did 70k last night. Probably going to help.
These Bluetooth headphones are not staying in the ears while I'm talking.
Where did Lee come? Let's have a look where Lee came.
Lee came 12th.
He's got some of Kyle's lead. He came 13th.
13th. I thought it was 12th. You
Lee
kicked our
was
asses.
13th.
Mate, that's gonna be like he's gonna be sub 100 easy now.
Hockey man, John Bowles.
That's gonna be like 60 BS points in that race.
And Ben was
Yeah.
49.
I was just behind Ben, I think.
I was an honest
57
guys.
49.
I was in 87.
I'm making sure Alice isn't chasing me.
Nice jersey, Gunner. Matching jerseys.
Yeah. It's Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever. End ride.
That was terrible.
There's Gunner.
At least you got 10 minutes now, rather than 3 or 4.
85th, Peter. That was terrible. Have a good hard think about that.
Let's just give up now.
I think so. He's not on the list.
Next one is 4.6.
I think the
Where
next
does that
one
one
finish
finish?
just as you get to that bridge. The
I think it's on the bridge. Up to the KOM.
oh, Whitney.
Yeah.
Is my Discord working while I'm in Zwift?
What, just before the com start?
Don't
Yeah,
know
it's
my
just at the end of the bridge.
What?
4.5 at the start.
Because I want to see what's going on.
No, it's the start.
I got my chat
Yeah.
over there.
Start of the bridge.
Whitney is wondering why I'm looking at Zwift.
And the next one is just
Sprinting.
on the top of the line.
I only got 49th.
Brilliant. Look forward
What's
to
the
that.
kilo game that he's going to be, isn't
He's
it?
wondering why I've got
Yeah.
those red grass. After you get to 800 watts, I think it flattens out. It won't show anything
Gears
over
for the
800.
DS points, so I'm not going to get any. I'm going to give up.
Maybe there'll be a Christmas miracle next race, Peter.
I need to work out how to mute my.
I don't think my Discord's working. If I stick it over there. You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
It's doing that annoying
Got
thing,
you.
whereas if you're not in Discord, it won't. You can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Oh, so you have to actually be open.
Yeah, I have to have Discord selected, otherwise it's that annoying thing when Zwift updates. It ruins Discord. And then it's fine again after a day or two. I can try hard closing Discord and running it under admin again. I tried to run it admin, it wasn't working. Open it up without admin rights again. Pain in the ass. Rightio, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I restarted it. Why won't you turn around, you prick? Have you?
Talking to myself. We got it.
I now can abuse you when you actually hear me, Pete. That was rubbish last race. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
I don't know, I gave it everything.
It was... I was basically being lazy. I was like, if someone attacks early, they can attack early. I'm just going to wait until the downhill, super tuck and then sprint. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I kind of made up a few places in the last 50 metres, but didn't make up any places as I started sprinting.
It didn't go well. And my legs are a bit.
I kind of stuffed up in terms of if I did it again, I had good momentum going up the hill. I should have just hammered it up the hill. Kept on going. I lost momentum as I went to super tuck. Yeah, Scott. But the problem with the Dorito is you pedal. See, if I stop pedaling, it doesn't give sticky watts, but it does do slow. So you're still pedaling, still pedaling, still
Blue
pedaling.
tacked onto my stem.
So compared to the
Blue tap,
kickers, you lose so much on that downhill. With
the most stickiest substance known to man, isn't it? What?
But when it gets cold, I don't think it's as effective.
Get rid of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably alright then.
So yeah, Scott, you just lose that little bit of momentum.
You ready for this?
So if I kept on smashing it up the hill, would have been better off rather than trying to rely on the super tuck. Stupid. chat. I don't want to chat. I want to get my camera. Exactly the same course. We just keep going further and further each time.
Nearly Christmas over there, Ben.
It's nearly Christmas where you are.
Well, yeah, but it's closer for you. You'll be going to bed soon. One more sleep.
I hope Santa remembers where I'm staying, because I'm not staying at this house tonight.
Gonna leave some treats out for Santa and the reindeers.
Here at the shops give free carrots for the reindeer, so Whitney went and grabbed free carrots.
Let's take advantage.
She was disappointed they're all gone today.
Okay. Carrot stew. Oh dear, I'm demotivated now.
Hey Nick. I never realised you could see the countdown on the other banners for the pen. I don't know if YouTube's showing it enough detail, but on the pen next to the roundabout I can see the countdown. Started a pen really far back, that's why. Not usually starting there. We started really far back then. Extra 300 metres. There's Gates here behind me. In the Aero jersey. Wow, good finish in 49th. Good solid effort there, Nick. No, I'm broken away. Get another one on the bridge, so use it again. Remember to use the amble on the downhill, we'll get another one. Oh yeah, I'll definitely use it for the finish. It's got on that little downhill before the bridge. I wonder if it lasts that long. If people are popping it now are going to use it down this hill.
I'm hanging to the back. Fuck. Oh, I still give up.
Oh, dig in, Pete, you can do it.
I'll give up.
Someone's going for it.
Save myself a little more.
I should get on going. I'm weak today. Last one, John.
Fuck's sake.
I got Lee at least.
That was follow.
Oh. Not fun.
Did I miss Pete? Where's Pete? Surely Pete's not. Oh, Pete!
Not bad, Jenna.
Oh,
I was moving forward a bit early, so I thought I'd super tuck. But
yeah.
again, I was weak. I should just get on going.
I just gave up.
I keep thinking Anvil super tuck. It's got to be brilliant, but then I keep losing momentum. I think the next one finishes at the top of this climb, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's the whole climb before it goes down.
The whole climb or just
Yeah, Scott.
No, just a steep bit.
Is
I
that
can look at the momentum in my group.
Yeah.
Those around me.
It's just
And
before.
if I'm not moving forward, doesn't matter. Well, I suppose if everyone's moving to the front, but I was going to be moving forward in the group. I mean,
Just on a top point, I think.
yeah, it's got to be at the top, surely. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
But I was thinking I didn't want to get to the front on that downhill
I don't know if I can make it.
because I looked up and saw where the finish was. If it finished just on that pitch, going back uphill, I was in the perfect position. But my mind gave up. That's the problem with riding outdoors, isn't it? Not riding on Zwift for ages. Mentally, I've gone soft.
Why am I so practiced?
This one's going to be tough for me. This one's for the light riders.
I'll break my trainer, see if that's why.
Punchy, but still pretty hard to compete on this 10% gradient with the 60 to 65 kilogram riders. Where's my music? Is the music still playing? What's going on? I don't know if I like using my Bluetooth headphone signals. Cord's annoying, but problem with Bluetooth headphones. Just touching them makes them do things like this.
You think throwing is a better choice for this one, next one?
Yeah, I don't know, because there's still so much momentum into the climb that you want to carry.
Yeah.
So, and plus you don't want to get dropped on the other descents.
Maybe the Zip 858, because they're a bit lighter and they're the next stage down in lightness, but still aero.
Yeah, I don't know though, because we're going to hit that climb at such speed that the momentum you gain is going to gain you.
Yeah.
I reckon whatever you're going to gain on accelerating again. So, I still reckon it's faster using the aero wheels.
Yeah.
If it was from the bottom to the top, definitely go the lightweights, but we're going to be hitting it 55 k's an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll stick with the disc wheel.
Well, someone's going to be hitting at 55 k's an hour.
I won't be hitting it at 55 k. I'll be hitting it at 35.
I'll just be hearing, why bother? Why do I bother?
I don't care.
Nah, Scott. The reality is, I love to get a good result on these, but I do them to go deep. As I was saying, I've been riding outdoors for a
One good
while.
race.
And I don't know whether it's just me, but I feel like mentally, those two races, I pulled the pin early just because
So the next one's
my
the whole
mind
lap,
isn't
is it?
into digging deep like I do on Zwift,
The last
or
one.
like you can on Zwift.
Last one.
Yeah, it's the last one.
Next one.
It's too easy for me to say, nah, this is not a good position. I'm just going to have a little rest here and then go again. Whereas I feel like if I was been racing on Zwift for the last few weeks, I would have just dug in regardless. Which is the reason why I do these races. It's just to find how deep I can go regardless of the result. Then if I get a good result out of it, that's a bonus. It's good to see where you can go longer and still get a good result.
Save myself for the last one as well.
Yeah.
If you save yourself for the last race, Pete, you better get a good result. Yeah, full power. Oh shoot, I better exit this. And right. Don't need to do that, do I? Get rid of you. I won't bother entering the next one. It's a longer ride, don't have to be in the very front pen.
Fuck it, I'm going to go slightly lighter wheels.
That'd be good, Katie. Imagine if you could just go and ride in the pen and push your way to the front like in real life. Well, I don't push my way to the front in real life, but if I was a pro.
Oh, indecision. Gets you every time.
I'm on discs. The difference is going to be in my legs, not the wheels. more importantly, my head.
Maybe the difference between.
I was telling the stream that mentally I gave up on those 2 races. I don't think I normally would if I hadn't been riding outdoors and if I'd been on Zwift. I've been getting solid results, Katie. As I said to the stream, I've been making sure Alice hasn't been
What?
on the
Smashing,
case.
guys.
We always start so far back in these races. At least it gives me a chance to settle in the group before the descent. Hey Phil, how you going? Alright, got the momentum on this descent now. Well, I get the amble. It's always the third race. Yep, got it. Third race was when they were stuffing them up. Also, strong mind. Phil, I need a strong mind in this race. Oh, someone's going. Someone's popped off the front.
Yeah, I think it was Pronto.
I'm not chasing. I'm following rule 3. I've come back. I'll try, Phil. I don't know about humbling. Backpedaling doesn't work. My kingdom for instant super tuck. At least on this course. Actually, I was giving my kingdom up. I want a lot more than that. Every course. Yeah, COVID's pretty rampant. Is it COVID? You guys have got just a garden variety. Can't see one popped off the front. I'm just assuming that view shows it though. Maybe it won't. I don't know, I feel this finish is on this kicker coming up. I'll try.
This is a lot easier. So far.
Oh, fuck.
Beat Lee that time.
John, last one. Got plane tracks. Got Mark. Oh, that finish between you and Peter and Lee.
Yeah. Just got him.
Why bother, Lee?
Well done, guys.
Is that way easier? Did you find that way easier?
Yeah, the
Well, up
lead-in
to the
was.
climb.
Until the bridge show.
Yeah. Yeah. I was- Oh. Think that's enough as BS points, 64? Probably not. Oh, that's the best I can do.
I don't know, Josh. I generally have to get
Kate happy.
top 15, top 10. Did Lee get 60? Jesus. Yeah, usually plane track kicks my ass. I don't know if I had
Next
good
one is going
momentum.
to hurt, I think.
I felt like I almost hit the front too early, but I kept the momentum
So
going,
your
lost a
anvil
tiny bit of
down.
draft.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Josh. My team's catching up to me. Piglet's already kicked way ahead. You've gone miles ahead. Mark smashed me. Good news, fellas. Only one lap to go.
Yeah.
It definitely was better, that race, Peter, in terms of before the kick.
Yeah.
But everyone was saving
So
themselves for that kick.
I calibrated my trainer before it, so I was thinking, is it just me or?
That's the great thing about dual recording, is that sometimes you feel like crap and you're not sure if it's the trainer or you, and then the duals tell you just crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that was a lot easier.
The first one or two are normally stupidly hard, where everyone's fresh.
Yeah. Plus I
Everyone gets
rested in
tired
the
at
second one.
the end.
And then the second 2 and 3 are pretty. I mean, 3 and 4 are also hard.
Yeah, it's just the last kick, isn't it, rather than all the way through.
Well, we'll see, because the next one we got to go up that kick, then to the finish. I wonder if anyone's going to try and get away before that kick. Cheers, Phil. I was digging in that that sprint. I could see I was in a good position. There was no reason to super tuck, so I had no reason to sit up. I almost knocked my trainer over because of the gradient. I had to change an easier gear and then grab a bigger gear just before it plateaued, so I didn't spin out. Trainer got a little bit unsteady. Yeah, this last finish, I won't say it suits
Where did you
me.
come in that one, Ben?
24th or something?
Nice. Very nice.
Marginal BS points for you, I reckon.
25th. I don't think I'll get BS points. Josh reckons I will, but I don't think I will.
Depends what your sixth one is. I reckon you'd be like 85, 90 for that.
We were talking about bikes, that's why I wanted to go disc. Don't think a lightweight bike is going to give any advantage on that climb on that speed.
You just need 2.7.
Already got that photo. Did I not take a photo at the start?
Have a barbecue on the beach tomorrow, Ben. Christmas barbecue
Some
on the beach.
sunshine.
That's what Australians do, isn't it? Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
It does look good when it's that short time frame, Phil. It's like the cheat code.
From a Foster's in hand.
Graph looks amazing when it's only a 12-minute graph.
All the stereotypes are probably wrong.
All that red.
Phrases just we just made up without actually saying it. Kind of spooling up. Hitting the runway. He's off.
I had to be careful at work not to say Merry Christmas to all the customers because we just did training. I just don't say Merry Christmas. I just ignore the whole festive chat just so I don't say the wrong thing. I just say the usual, have a good day. Definitely love Christmas to days off though. Actually, I really enjoyed Friday though, with no one else around in the offices. Got like Nick starting with that. All that grunting and groaning. Okay, I'm pretty certain no one's going to push the pace here. Shit, I got
power
a
up.
XP.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone did.
Me too.
Everyone.
That's not so bad.
Next sprint banner then.
There'll be XP there for sure.
Man on man now. One of these.
It's kind of
Yeah,
useless
it's-
when everyone has them at the same time. It just neutralises it.
It says 2 times angle in the event text. So
I do love an anvil. Because everyone,
No,
as soon
no.
as they gets it, crashes it.
Yeah, there's definitely been some interesting handball on this one. I love them.
There's someone pushing off the front. Not going anywhere though.
But it's not too bad now. Doesn't really matter.
I feel like my super tuck should work better now. Other people still pedaling. Yep, Scott. No thinking required. Stretching, but holding together. Yeah, Phil.
take
Here's
speed.
the momentum to get to the front then. I should eat the mic before I cough. I'd say so, Nick. I got my invisible cup. Nothing to see here, wider.
Come on guys, all in here. Effective finish line is the top of this climb. Think of momentum before the deep bit.
I'm going to gamble here. I'm going to assume the group's going to hold together. Or at least the top 40. Get to the top. Drift to the back.
Let's go, let's go. Shiny. Let's go shiny. Guys, send it big. All in, all in. Last one, it's all that matters. Dig deep, dig deep. Push, push, push. Keep on it, keep on it. Yes, well done guys, well done. Mega results.
Oh. 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 What do you want?
Nice one, Mike.
I think.
That's a good one.
It's got good Sprint numbers.
Nice one, go. Nearly got Ben.
Had a big advantage on the downhills.
Oh no, I was near the front. I looked up and I was right at the front, at the top of the car.
John. 1 out of 4, John.
Cover.
Oh God.
Oh God. We tried.
Yeah, David.
At least you don't have Nick here going, climbers gambit anyone? 5 minutes?
No way.
And then give up.
Quick race in 5 minutes.
Yeah, Steve.
8 laps.
I was pretty
8
happy with that
laps.
finish in terms of.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I think I positioned myself right. I just didn't. Well, it's a lot of good sprinters in that group.
1,000 watts at the end there.
Mark Gates has got an extra kilo
Numbers.
in the 15 seconds on me.
And then faded. I was too far back again. I was like just hanging on to the back of the group.
I need to turn on the chat. I can't hear it. My headphone fell out. I was trying to use the momentum in that sprint come through down the hill. I didn't want to hit the front, but I couldn't hit the front anyway if I tried. But I thought I'd get some momentum into the group just as the sprinter started on that right-hand turn. And then once they started off kicking off, I just put as hard as I could into the line, knowing I wasn't going to hit the front. So it was just a matter of getting to the line.
Chat and chill. We always chat and
I
chill.
really need to lose a couple of kilos if I want to be competing. Well, I've backed off the training load. In the office 8 hours a day.
Suppose I should spend time with the family.
Life's a bit harder.
Christmas.
Full-time work versus part-time.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Today, for me.
Try and get some more training in.
Is it? Oh,
I
yeah.
really need to be able to ride into work. Problem is work hasn't got a
It's
shower.
not Christmas Eve.
Yeah. You have fish. Do they have fish?
Not this year.
Yeah,
Usually we
Steve.
have with
I said 40, didn't I? I said there'll be 40 people in that group at
this
the
year we
top.
have some
I was right in
sort
that.
of pigs.
If there was 40 people, I would have won.
Ribs, we call it. No,
Problem is, I was in 70th, wasn't I?
not pig fannies, no?
Alright,
It was
well,
interesting
have a good
how
one.
much
Everybody.
easier
Have a good
relatively that
Christmas.
climb was.
Yeah. Hopefully Santa
Yeah,
finds
you
I've
you.
got to pick up my headphones so I can hear you guys. I've only got one in at the moment.
There you go.
I'll get into ghost mode. Woo!
Alright, I'm off.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Good
Merry Christmas to you.
Ghost power up off.
Yeah.
I need to get a green towel, don't I? Rather than
Where's
a white
Santa?
one. You've all left me now that I'm back in. First I get fired from dirt.
Going to doing a race.
Oh, surely he's doing a race.
Cool down race.
Probably going to be a chase race and he'll be leading it. Yeah, it was a lot easier, Scott. It was hard,
Got another 10 minutes of
but you could see I got to the
tempo
top
to do.
at the front and eased
Then
off.
back to zone 1, zone 2.
Well, eased off is in. Didn't have much more to give compared to the race up there before. So you're doing another stupidly long ride, James?
3 hour today.
Short one.
Yeah. With a 1 hour block of tempo in the middle.
Did you get back into the group yesterday after getting dropped?
Yeah, it's just like 2 minutes of like 400 watts.
Who were you riding with?
The B Jacques, the French one. It's just
Tempest?
Tempest Unit, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a solid base back in. I've got a spot where I can ride just back and forth. It's about a 12-minute effort in zone 2, back and forth, back and forth. But it's nice because you just got wide roads, so when traffic does pass, don't worry. But just keep solid, nice pedaling.
Is that all outside?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
definitely
doing
not
any
out.
in Zwift?
Nah, because I meant the other house. My Zwift setup's here. I was thinking about dragging everything over to the other house, but I should be doing outdoors while it's nice weather. Learn to enjoy outdoor riding. I really love riding at night time. I enjoy riding around near the city because the skyline in Melbourne's actually really nice at night time. It's the tallest, what do they call it, like this average height skyline in the southern hemisphere. So it's got lots of nice tall buildings lit up. And in summertime when it's nice and warm, 25 degrees and no wind, no traffic around, it's really nice. But not so keen on the daytime riding. Sunscreen on, bugs, other people, riding too hard when I'm supposed to be riding zone 2.
You end up racing everyone. Someone overtakes you, you're like, I can't have this.
Yeah, like it's not even you don't even really race them. It's too easy just to nudge the tempo up slightly. Like, I'll just do the 10 watts here. But then, yeah, just, I don't know. I enjoy riding on a Zwift because the same thing can happen. But the thing is, I can just watch a movie, check Discord, do other things. Whereas outdoors, I just can't distract myself. So you're just looking at the distance, the time. Just go slowly sometimes. And I'm not popular enough to have mates to ride outdoors.
Also, when you ask mates, it always turns into a race and a stick measuring competition. So even like I just want to do a zone 2. It doesn't turn out as a zone 2.
Yeah, used to always happen when I did have mates that did ride. It was always just end up being a race until everyone died. But also I can't do long rides outdoors because I just get so frustrated with the stop-start. Ends up being so inefficient with time.
Yeah.
So a lot of the other guys just drive their cars out to the nice roads or ride out to the nice roads. But they're doing like 4.5 hour rides. But it's really only 2 hours of riding. I hate
Where
that.
I live. You can do like a 2 hour ride with only a couple of junctions.
Yeah, that's what I like about this road. It can be boring. I do an hour and a half of it. I don't want to do 4 hours. But what I hate is when you're doing zone 2, but you're stopping every 2 minutes. So it doesn't feel like zone 2 at all. Because you never get building that momentum up of fatigue.
Yeah. I think that's why some people find the trainer so hard. Because if that's all the riding they do, when it gets to the trainer, they haven't got that fatigue resistance.
Yeah, their feet get sore and things because they're just not used to having pressure on the pedals for 2 hours solid. Whereas I'm so used to it now, when I ride outdoors I get frustrated. If I'm freewheeling even down a hill, everyone else is super tucking, I'm just pedaling because I don't want to be not pedaling. I don't give a crap if it's inefficient. I'm training. I want to do 200 watts here at the minimum. I don't know if you're still here, Scott, but one of the things I struggle with those timing races sometimes, if there's a downhill finish, I'm used to them ramping up from 800 metres, and you need to be absolutely flying at 500 metres. But when there's a downhill finish, probably a bit like that one, a lot of people just wait and just finish at the same spot they normally would in a Zwift race. It's very similar to that one then, I think. I pushed through from the back because I started at a distance, but I think the guys at top 20 all started sprinting from the same spot they normally would. Well, would have been guys who started sprinting from the same spot they normally would have got 60th. But I think the sprinters did.
The last result hasn't came up yet.
Yeah, Phil. I remember those videos. I like outdoors if it's just a cruise, in terms of if I'm riding around with my friends, but it's not a training ride. I'm just riding with my mates, like Whitney, just cruising along, looking at the scenery. I don't really consider that a bike ride as such. I consider that just like an outing. But that's definitely not what if I did them every day of the week, I'd be pretty damn slow. So that's why, yeah. But I'm a Zwift rider in terms of I train like Zwift outdoors. There are other riders, real outdoor riders that train like that, because that's where structured training comes from, doesn't it, outdoors? But a lot of the people that I'm passing outdoors, they go hard up the hills and then they just stop pedaling when they get to the top of the hill. Literally. They'll get to the top, not even doing 30 k's an hour, they just get to the top at 20 k's an hour, ease up the pedaling, let the momentum build back up from gravity, cruise down to the bottom of the next hill. I'm not saying all outdoor riders do that, it's just the ones that I come across. The fast ones I don't come across because they're buggered off somewhere else, or they go past me and I'll never see them again. I think also the other thing is I've lost interest in Strava segments. Before I really got into Zwift, I was big into Strava. Once a week I'd try and take a PB or a com on a segment, check the wins out, see which is the best one to take, because that was my competition, because I didn't do racing. But now Strava segments to me just don't have any appeal anymore. It's good if I get a good segment when I get home, but the thing is, I know in the back of my mind that it's so weather related, other things. For instance, if I wasn't wearing backpack at the time, or wearing better clothes, different bikes. At the moment I'm riding my cyclocross bike. Had gravel tyres on for a while, so that definitely, Strava segments was definitely not a thing then. When is the Hort route you're talking about? Is it in June next year? Because there's so many. Which one is it? Is it the Pyrenees? I'm trying to remember which one you talked about. Or is it going to be the outdoors one? Is it 3 or 7? 5 days? Is it? Or they got 7 still? I know they got 3 days and the longer ones. Yeah, so that's the thing. Zwift for me is great because of where I live. I live in a great area to ride your bike around in and just have a tour. As I said, I love riding around the city at night time. But in terms of training, if I lived out in the Dandenongs, as you've seen off the Giro della Donna goes through some absolutely beautiful parts of Australia. I've lived out there. I probably would never have got on Zwift. Being in Australia too, where you can ride not 24 hours, but you can ride 12 months of the year. It's kind of odd in Australia, people get onto Zwift during the hotter parts of the year sometimes. As long as you're not doing it in the shed, like Jay Philippots. Don't know if Josh is still watching. He might have been disappointed by my finishes. He wants me to level up on the Zwift bullshit rankings. But Josh lives in Tasmania and used to be still is a runner. But he and I can relate to each other because we're riders who race Zwift. We're not outdoor racers as such. Yeah, it is true, but then the thing is, Phil, Strava's worse than Zwift. There's so many segments you see where even the top, like you might get top 100, but if you have a look, sometimes there's people in that top 100 that have just got in their car after their long ride, left Strava on and driven home and never bothered to delete the segment. So it's worse than Zwift. So even when I see I've done a say that day I did a top 10 time, or that year I did a top 10 time, I almost don't even give a crap anymore, because it's so disheartening when you look to see the times and it's done by the gustiest wind ever, or they've ridden a motorbike, or they've driven a car, or they've been on the train. One of the segments I'm doing at the moment is done by an absolute troll of the community. It's so unrealistic. But no one bothers to flag it because of the stature in the community.
Well, I think that's it for me. Today's
You won the race already, Gunner.
Yeah. Not a chance.
Well, I probably won't see you for Christmas. I'll see you in Discord,
No.
but I don't think I'll be on I think I'll be riding outdoors tomorrow, so have a good Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good Christmas.
Might have a... Yeah, you too, guys. See you later.
See you, Gunner.
Yeah, have a good one, both of you.
Yeah, cheers. See ya.
Trans
See
Montana.
ya.
Have you looked at vegan cyclist video? I think he's got the
You've
second
been
one out.
following Ian on his Everest today, then?
Yeah, I gotta check in on that. What's he Everesting? The bloody petite com or something?
No, what is it? The Bologna TT one.
Ah, okay. I thought I saw something about a petite com. I was like, bloody hell. At least he's not doing the aqueduct.
I think he's doing the aqueduct or petite. No, the aqueduct in a couple of days to get the local legend.
Yeah, that's what it is. I remember something about aqueduct and Everesting. I was like, Jesus Christ.
It's almost as bad as Everesting in the Netherlands.
Yeah, where Lee lives, I can see why he hardly ever is on Zwift racing. Yeah, so I was saying with the vegan cyclist, he's done his Switzerland video. It's very funny. It's so... well, so American in terms of you're sitting in the airport and they're like, they're not speaking English. This is amazing. They're speaking another language. I enjoy vegan cyclist videos, but sometimes it reminds me of how American he is. Yeah, you did really well, John. Kicked my ass in 3 of those races. They're definitely sprinting courses. The first 2 races I gave up mentally, but I still wasn't going to get an amazing result. I was unhappy with the efforts. 3rd and 4th, I was much better efforts. Gave it everything in the 3rd and 4th. I think it depends too, Phil, where the comms are. There's I always forget it's 1 in 20 or 1 in 40 in Melbourne, which is like the testing ground if you want to sort of legitimise yourself to the rest of the community. You got there's the 1 in 20, so that's pretty well policed by the community in terms of the flagging. I've never actually been out there because to get there's a bit of a shit. For me, where I live in Essendon, the west side is probably the better side to ride, but it's all flat lands. It's easy to get to though, you've got better access for a bike. Don't know why I'm bothering pedaling. I'm only doing 80, 70 watts.
Good zone 2 there, isn't it?
Yeah. This is the tempo that David wants. Well, I wouldn't say bad, John. I've been
is 80 watts
detraining.
even enough to flush the lactate out to recover?
What was that?
Is 80 watts enough to flush the lactate out? Like, as a recovery at the end of the
I think
ride?
I pretty much flushed it out. I'm just tired. If I wanted to right now, I could probably sprint like fuck, but it's just cruising around.
You level 60?
Nah, only level 56 at the moment. Because I've been dog sitting my mum's dog because she went to Germany to visit my sister who's got a fellowship there. So I've been, I've been sick, working and living somewhere else. So I haven't been on Zwift much at all.
I could catch you up on 1 time speed.
Oh, you'll catch me up because I won't be doing much. I think I got the family visiting, like my sister's visiting with her family in a few days after Christmas. So I'll be doing a lot of that stuff. So I'll try and get a lot of riding in, but most of it will be outdoors, I think.
It's just this one buy is taking so much time. I mean, I'm not even level 50 yet, but...
Yeah, it sucked that you didn't get to level 50 before the double up from 50 to 60.
But even if I did, I would have only had like 1 or 2 levels of it. So I don't think it would have made much difference.
I don't think so, Phil. I think because he's from Adelaide, he would have done that world famous Wollonga Hill, which is only world famous in Adelaide. I think I don't know if it's ironically named world famous, or if people in Adelaide really think that it's world famous. John kicked my ass in 3 of the races. John's a good sprinter, but he's just upgraded to ACAT, and you're saying that I must be on a bad night. But my training load's gone from, I think I was doing 115 and now I think I'm sitting on 80.
Is that on exert?
Yeah, gone from 115 to 80. And I think my threshold's gone from, it was roughly somewhere between 355 and 365. And now it struggles to hit above 340.
Surprising how quickly, I wouldn't say you stopped cycling, you've just reduced it. Man.
Yeah, it's been it's sort of, I haven't minded because I got sick. And so it's just been a good detraining period in terms of, I had 2 weeks off the bike. I think it's kind of important, as that video from, what's his name, John, the American guy anyway, Dylan Johnson, said that
Yeah.
you got to be careful that you don't just dig a hole for yourself too long because it ruins your hormones. And so usually what I've been doing is building it up and then having a bit of a rest period and then building it up. Sometimes that rest period has been enforced by injuries, but I don't actually mind losing fitness and building it back up again, because it kind of gets boring if you plateau and just sit there just trying to hold your fitness. It becomes a bit mentally tough.
And I found what works really well for me is if you
4 days
start,
off definitely help.
if you get out of the hole, and then if you do like an overload week where you really pile it on, you need that week to like really push you and then recover from that, and then that's enough to break the plateau.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll try and, as you say, I'll try and do an overload week coming up, and then I'll be back to work. So then I'll just try and keep that training load around 100. I was at 115, which is probably my highest training load for holding it. But I used to be pretty decent at 100. I just got to be smart with, if you're at 100, you just got to kind of push and then ease off, push and ease off, as you say. Like, you just got to do 2 or 3 really hard long rides, well, not really hard, but long big rides indoors or out. That really helps push you through for a few weeks.
I'm going to use the FRR tour for Watopia to try and get a nice bit of block of overload.
Yeah, I was surprised when I did that 20 rounds of pissing yellow, the chasing yellow thing. It didn't, I don't know if my training load got really high, but it was a different training stimulus, and I came off that pretty damn strong.
That was 3 weeks though, wasn't it? Or was it 2?
It was 20 days where you had 2 days off out of those 20. Well, 22 days, 2 days off. I think it was like the 2 Mondays off. Oh, I've lost
Pretty
my gears,
big.
my battery's running.
But I think the pros do say that as soon as they finish a tour, when they have a couple of days to recover, then they're flying.
Yeah, so John, doing something like 4 hours. That's what people, like the good riders outdoors in terms of the non-Zwift riders. Someone like Mark O'Brien, they do those big long rides on the Saturday or Sunday. That's the key to becoming stupidly fast. Doesn't really help with sprinting, but get that FTP up. You know more about getting fast at sprinting than I do though, so you can chime in with how to become a friggin' beast of a sprinter at those sort of events that we just did. I think my DRT battery's gone flat. In that I've pulled the cable out. Look at me go. Whew, that was from ZRL. That.
You got the Di2 on the indoor bike.
Yeah, I'm an indoor rider. Yeah, battery's flat. It's ironic.
Dura
I've
Ace
got
and everything,
I've got
or just the shifter.
I got half Dura Ace, half Ultegra. So Ultegra shifters, Dura Ace crank, Ultegra cassette.
Because the Dura Ace is like butter, isn't it? Destroy it in like a week.
I got Dura Ace 9150 sitting in the shed. It's basically, it was for the bike that I crashed and broke my collarbone on, and I never really wanted to use it on my indoor bike, because if you look at my shift, well, my rear derailleur and my front derailleur, they're looking a bit worse for wear from the salt. And then my gravel bikes got 105, but the shifters are because 105 disc back then didn't have shifters for the disc, so it's like the non-series hydraulic shifters, which are pretty shit really. I'm forever clicking up and down to try and find the right gear that I want. So like one click up, 2 clicks down, or 2 clicks up, 1 click down. It's like I finally found that gear.
Because it's not indexed right.
Yeah, I've really got to get onto it. But you know when you index it, the screw's buggered on that. So it moves around a little bit, so if you bump it, it actually moves the indexing. So I'll lean it up against the wall when I get back from my ride, and then walk out the door and bang into something, and then get on the bike and realise I banged the cable and the index has slightly changed.
Jeez. I can never get my indexing right. I can always get the bottom half right or the top half right. So I can never get like a full cassette proper index.
Is the hanger bent? That's usually a sign that the hanger's bent.
So no, I haven't banged it, or I've noticed that I banged it, but
I've actually got a one of those the park tools to straighten out my hanger, but the problem is you don't want to do it too often because you just end up snapping the hanger because it gets weaker and weaker. So you kind of get it to a good spot and just leave it unless it gets really bad. There isn't really much difference, Phil.
I quite like the mechanical because you can sort of like half click it, but it doesn't click, if you know what I mean. Just enough to push it in the next gear.
I'll tell you a funny story from a Zwift rider. I was going around the corner. I think I was on my second or third ride outdoors, going around the corner, and I was like, oh, I need to change gear, don't I? So I changed gears and slammed on the front brakes.
Oh no!
Because on Dura Race, I mean on DIT, you're not swinging the gear, are you? So when you're swinging the gear, you obviously can slam the brake at the same time.
It's like the Zwift Academy. They didn't do a very good job of reassuring people that Zwifters can cycle outside.
Oh, I didn't even check the comments when the girls crashed on that day twice. I didn't have a look where they were, but Spain's notorious for slippery roads. Phil, John Bowles, his Occuman, is an absolute beast of a sprinter.
One thing that I like pushing it on descents, but it's like taking risks, and
It's a crit racer from,
you got way
I won't
up
say
for it,
way
haven't
back
you?
because it makes John sound old. What makes me laugh is people who say, oh, I'm not going DIT because I don't want to be stuck at the side of the road with a dead battery. But the amount of times my cable snapped when I was running, when I was doing courier work, like, yeah, sure, you just get off your bike and you can do some tricks to give yourself the gear that you want. But the reality is unless you change your cable all the time, you never know when it's actually going to snap until you're riding along and you've got to change a gear, and it doesn't really change in your gear. And you're thinking, oh, it's a bit odd. And then it's a bit late by then because the cable's already frayed. So either you go home or you just end up forgetting to change the cable the next ride, and then your cable snaps.
I had one where it was so bad, like it all frayed and disintegrated into the hood, like the inner workings. So I had to take the whole shifter off the bar, pretty much like take it apart, clean it, get all the little shards of metal out of it, then refit it. Has a bit of a ball ache.
Yeah, I think Shimano is notorious for the cable snapping in the shifter and then you can't get it out. So I think that's what a lot of like Campagnolo people Shimano for, because you end up having a cable stuck inside your shifter.
And it's a pain because you need new bar tape, everything, as soon as you try and take it off.
Yeah, the old style where it just come out the side of the shifter was so much easier mechanically. Well, you're not a sprinter, John, but you, as far as Zwift racing is, you're a sprinter. What would you call yourself? Because you're a crit racer. So definitely not I wouldn't say you're a pursuiter, are you? What I like about Di2 is just the front shifting, which is completely useless indoors. But that's the reason why I picked it up. I was actually really lucky. I picked up both my Di2 kits just as COVID started, and everyone freaked out and sold everything, just in case they needed the money. So I got my old Tegra Di2 kit for like $400 without the cranks, but like shifters and derailleurs and cables and stuff, and then the Dura-Ace 9150 for $700. That's Australian, so I don't know, what's that, like €500 or €450? Yeah, exactly, Phil. That's what I think. But like, you got bike lights, you got phones, Vario radars, bike computers, and they're worried about having to charge a battery on their bike. Sure, they might not use phones and stuff when they go riding, but once you realise you've got stuff to charge, you just charge them all at the same time, don't you? To be fair, I have been looking at this battery to see if it needs to be charged, but because I haven't been here, I haven't stuck it on the charger. If it was ZRL, I would have checked it. I always check things with ZRL. If I was going for an outdoor ride, I would have checked it. Because the great thing is, if I wanted to, I could step off and just plug the charger straight in and charge the bike while I'm riding. Phil's smashing it, John. Mind you, he does get the shits because he's got a new kicker bike, and he's cranky that his kicker bike reads.
My back.
What's happened?
My headphones run out of battery. So
I got some new Bluetooth headphones just because I needed something to listen to while I was outdoors, but I don't think I like them indoors. I think I might just go back to the wired ones.
I've got wireless ones indoors.
Oh, I got a gear change.
On the side.
I'll be stuck in the wrong gear there.
The battery life is like an hour and a half. So if I do anything more, I have to do like one in, charge the other one, and then when it says it's got no battery, I put the one in my ear on charge and put the charging one back in my ear. So I keep swapping between the two.
Yeah, I got Urbanista or something, which... Yeah, Urbanista London ones. They're actually quite good outdoors, but the microphone's useless. I tried to join Discord when a few of them, I think you might have been in the chat, I'm not sure, but they're absolutely useless for the microphone. Even when I'm not riding, they I think it's just because the microphone is next to your ear. It just doesn't pick my voice up very well. So I can't even use Google or Siri because it just doesn't understand what I'm saying. But
I used to use the Apple one, and the sweat just destroyed the microphone. On like the wired ones, where it's like below your chin.
yeah, I was a bit worried about it, but I saw these. I don't think they were that big a bargain, but they were $69 because I think they're what do they call it? Basically, they're the outgoing model, and so they reduced from $269, but that reduced from $269 would have been bullshit. But I didn't want to spend more than $100 on headphones.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Some of the
like
best ones are
45
really.
euro or so. But I wanted active noise reduction too, because I find the wind noise when you got headphones in, it's just too loud outdoors. It might just be my head shape, but it just drives me nuts.
Outside, I never use headphones. This was a talking point on the, was it Chris Miller and Jesse Coyle?
I actually got it mostly so that when I'm doing Zwift workouts outdoors, I can hear the tone. Because sometimes I'll be riding along and I'm like, this interval is taking forever. And I look down and it finished like 30 seconds ago.
Tony would do that on the recovery, and the rest interval, not the on.
Well, that was the issue. Sometimes I was doing it on the recovery. Like I'd miss like the 15-second sprint. Like I'm sure there was more than that. I looked down, I only did 2 of them.
It's like, oh no, what a shame.
Well, it kind of annoyed me though, because like I want to train, I don't want to just bloody bumble around. That person's flying, but it must have been because I was doing 80 watts. It's kind of weird because, so you get different size earbuds. So I put them in and they worked fine when I was riding outdoors, but then when I start talking, it's absolutely rubbish. They keep coming undone, so I go try and change different earbuds.
Yeah, I think the size doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah, I've got really small ear holes. I remember, well, don't remember, like half the times that I see that doctors look at my ears when I'm sick, they struggle. They really yank the ear down. They're like, oh, you got the smallest ear holes I've ever seen.
Oh, that's such a weird thing, isn't it?
Probably explains like when I was a kid I had hearing tests because I thought I was deaf. I think I was just when I was very young. Maybe they hadn't quite opened up or something. And then as I got to like 3 or 4, they were fine. Yeah, Phil's talking about his, oh geez, I got a massive group going past me. Phil's talking about his training, where he used the watt bike for the training and the kicker for the racing.
Got to get those extra 10 watts on, haven't you? It's a
Feels
good
like minions are around
6
me.
months of training right there. Easy done.
It's good having a different jersey to everyone else. I just had a massive group of Z-Sun riders and I've got my B-Tits jersey. Stands out like bollocks.
It's a good jersey, I love it. When I see other people in it, I'm always like, who is it? Who is it? Then I forget it's an actual jersey that other people can use.
Yeah, it's good because it's not that common. So when you see someone else in it, you're like, oh, get that jersey off, that's a burrito jersey, but then it's not really at all, is it?
Cy Bradley's been using it in a couple of his videos, hasn't he?
What was that?
Cy Bradley's used it in a couple of his videos.
Has he? Yeah, I think it is pretty popular. Just that when people are riding for their teams, I don't think any teams. Well, there might be one or two, but no one really picks it up.
It's really easy to get as well, isn't it? You can turn Zwift on.
Who? There was. I've forgotten who it was. Was it Lee? Was it Mike? I'm just trying to think. One of the burrito riders actually did the whole ride. The rest of us just joined. Gunner, you reckon?
I know I've got mine on a drive home. Put it on before I left. Then when I got there, I got it.
Yeah, I think I got it when it was a 6:30 in the morning ride, so I just had it sitting there to join the ride when I went to bed.
I know GP Llama uses it, but that's understandable. It's the Llama jersey.
Yeah, but he never races and he has never set up a team because, well, basically I think he was a TTer at heart. He did some like crit racing, but he's always a TTer. And then he started family life. Doesn't feel like he needs to race anymore.
I want to get
sort of
into
see.
some TTing, I think.
Yeah, I can see where he
That'd be
comes
quite
from
good.
because when you become really good, then you're never going to get that good ever again.
Yeah.
You just want to ride for fun.
It's a bit like me with the dinghy sailing. Try to give it a go again, and you're like stumbling over and hitting your head and trying to do these complex moves, falling in the water.
I can't imagine you in a dinghy. Were you always heavy when you were in the dinghy when you were younger, or did you just can't imagine 100 kilo in one of those little tiny things?
Well, the fin that I'd done the Olympic campaign in was the optimum weight was like 96 to 100. So that's the one that I sort of went to. And then that got taken out of the games. So then, as you say, I couldn't go back down to the next one. So the next lighter one was about 80 kilos.
I was on a fixie, John, but now my battery's
Probably
come back to
could get
life
there if I
again.
turned into a stick figure, but I'd be
It's
way
still
too
on.
hard.
Whoops, I made the mistake of checking my battery by using my front derailleur. Now I'm stuck on the small ring. Rookie mistake. Cross-training. Cross-training, not training. I just checked my battery, but accidentally changed it to the front chain ring to check it. I'm
Is it
now
dead,
in
the battery?
yeah, but I had a couple of shifts in the rear derailleur, so I was like, oh, maybe there's a little bit of battery, so I held down to change gears to check it, but I used the front derailleur. So now I'm in the 3911.
39
Oh shoot!
cross-chain central.
Good news is I lost a Z-Sun ride, so I can ease up now. Come on,
Do you have
get out of
the
the
53 big chain ring? Full
Yeah,
side
I
one.
got the 5339.
It's a tough balance because I feel like I need it for when it goes downhill a bit, but then, well, this is for all outdoors. But as soon as you start going uphill, I need the contact. I really need like 53, 34, like a mix between the two.
Are you using the bike outdoors though? This is my indoor bike.
Yeah, I do use it outdoors as well.
I do. I mean, I'd always ridden around with a 5339. Actually, my courier bike was a 5342 because it was the old down tube shifters, pro gearing, 7-speed on the back. I think it would have been like a 1224 or something. Jesus Christ, going up a 10% climb on that was a shit.
Destroy your knees.
Well, I was lucky in the city we got sharp pitches, but they're at the most 150 metres.
So power up and no time.
Yeah, when we're courier riding, you're either going not full gas, but you're going pretty damn fast to try and make money, or you're just cruising around waiting for the next job. So there were ways to get around some of the hills if you weren't working. But it was a shit if you just need to go over that hill just to cruise back to the next job.
Would you ever get like an order come through and you'd be like, nah, decline, that's at the top of a steep hill?
I often did, because the company I worked for, you're allowed to say, no, I don't want to do that order. And so you had real lazy riders who, I'm not doing that one because it's at the top of the hill, or I'm not doing that one because it's 3 kilometres away. And so I'd always take on those orders just because I wanted to ride as much as I wanted to make money. So I didn't really want to be doing the 200 metre deliveries. That was great to make a lot of money, especially when it was a rainy day and there was a shitload of orders going. But I always figured I'd rather do those slightly longer rides on the quieter days rather than just going back and sitting down for 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was very funny working for the company I worked for because it was very different to the food delivery companies at the moment. It was the reason why the company stopped in Australia is because it was much more employee based. Everyone could talk to each other, and you could talk to the dispatch and say, no, I'm not doing that delivery, or something's wrong with this delivery, all sorts of things. So it was much more like the proper courier riding was, like the New York messenger riding, just with the modern day technology rather than using two-way radios.
But do you have like Deliveroo sort of thing now?
So basically it was the competitor Deliveroo, but back when I did it, you got paid per delivery regardless of distance. And so we had $10 per delivery, and you could pick up 4 orders from the same restaurant if it was really busy. So the system would say, okay, you got 4 orders from this restaurant, pick them up and then take it to the customers. So you kind of felt bad for the 4th customer because you had to wait till you delivered to everyone else. But you got paid as if it was 4 deliveries. So you might go to the same apartment building for 4 deliveries. So it's kind of a pain in the ass because you have to ring in, go up the stairs, or go up the elevator, go back down, ring, go up the elevator, back down again 4 times. But you got paid, $40, and it might take you 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you'd charge off back because you could see that it's loaded up for your next orders, because you can see what you're going to get for the next orders if you press done. So a lot of the times riders would say that they've delivered before they've even given the food to the customer. And the customer like, I didn't get my food. Then the doorbell would ring. Because you might have another 3 or 4 orders lined up, so you wanted to get those. It'd be really annoying if you deliver it to the customer and just as you press done, those orders disappeared.
You want to make sure you're getting the next one.
Yeah, like there was riders who would actually be riding halfway to the delivery and they just say they've done it and they just press done and they just keep going and then get back and pick up the next order.
When did you stop that?
Rather annoyingly, so what I used to do is I'd do that for 9 months of the year and then spend 3 months of the year spending all my money overseas. And then I came back from an overseas trip and been working for about 4 weeks, thinking, this is going to be great. I'm working during the peak season where I can get $2,000 a week. And then sitting at home, and then I got a message saying that they'd pulled out of Australia because of a court case saying that we're employees and they didn't want to technically they didn't say we don't want to pay you as employees, but basically they didn't want to, because even though for me it would have been worse, I would have got paid less, but I was the top percent of riders who was making more money than I would if I was an employee. But a lot of other riders, because it was based off key performance index, so I was always one of the top riders, so I got more orders than everyone. I got the best shifts in the best locations, and the system gave priority for me to get the orders. So I was actually really bad if you're a new rider trying to learn how to be good. You just never got the orders to learn how to be good, and ended up just quitting because you got no orders.
So cheat the game, but like Zwift.
Well, sort of. Like I started off as a motorbike rider, which was better because you don't have to worry about getting fit. And then I transitioned over to, like I did 2 or 3 shifts a week as a bicycle rider, but I was already quite good at riding my bike. And a lot of it's navigation. Having a good sense of direction, and also knowing, okay, if I go down this road, the traffic lights will be green if I go up this speed. Whereas if I go down the next road, I'll constantly get red lights. So you can run through red lights, but it's much more dangerous. So one of the things that I learned was just the traffic the traffic light sequences to the locations, because you're basically picking up from the same restaurants and delivering to the same apartment complexes, really.
That's some serious nerding going on there, isn't it?
Well, it was very funny because I'd go overseas for 3 months and come back, and it used to take me about 2 or 3 days to sort of get back into it. And some of the sequencing had changed, or there was construction on some of the roads and things. So I had to sort of not relearn it, but tweak things. Peter's saying this is a long, tiny race. Should I attack now, Peter? You reckon this is the right time? I don't know where the finish is though. So that's kind of what I enjoyed about the job, was a lot of people would be looking at their GPS, they'd press start and they'd go, okay, where is it on the GPS? But if you just forgot about using the GPS, you just go, okay, I know where that address is. You got the image in your mind of the route you're going to take. You look down the street and you can see what the traffic's like, so you're like, okay, plan B, plan C.
Like a proper fat cab driver in London.
Yeah,
knows
like
every little route.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I knew, okay, there's this apartment complex. This is the apartment number. There might be multiple entries into the apartment, so you go down a different street because you go through a different entry, and so that can change the route. So it's kind of funny, is that I knew the city so damn well, at least the bits that I used to go to. And then I'd come back, like if I go through there now, it's like, wow, it's so much has changed. That laneway doesn't exist, or there's another little laneway that I could use. There's so much construction in the city that it changes a lot.
Yeah, I think that's the same everywhere. Around us, they're building so many more houses. Got plans to build more like villages. Crazy.
They've got a really cool building which they're almost finished now. I think they've only got a month or so, which has got connected by 2 platforms in the northeastern part of the city at the top of the hill. One of the good things about delivering is I used to like going into the buildings and seeing the different apartments, because sometimes the customer would open the door up like wide, and so you can actually see the apartment, see the views they've got and things. So it's nice to actually see which apartments are good and which apartments are holes. I can't change my gear, Peter.
Each information when you're looking to buy your own place.
I'm stuck in the tiny ring. It's a tiny ring race.
It's like you've already previewed them.
My Di2 ran dead and I was stuck in the big chain ring, and I accidentally checked, because I could change gears again, and accidentally checked by changing into the small chain ring. So now I'm in the 3911. I should really change the chainer difficulty going up that hill. The best part of it was when you got really good tips, because people generally didn't give tips, but sometimes you get someone to give you $50 because it was raining.
Was that like in person or was that through the app, the company?
You can get it through the app, but a lot of people would give you cash because they didn't trust that you get the money. But
Yeah.
with Foodora, actually cleared quite a lot in tips. I think every week I'd probably get about $100 in tips.
Quite good they've done like that.
Because people would give it like 50 cents or $1. And we deliver to a lot of Asian, like a lot of the Asian community because of the students. And a lot of them are very superstitious. So they didn't like to have certain numbers in the order. So if the order was total was a certain number, they'd give you like 24 cents tips or $1.34 tip, just to make the number a whole number and a lucky number.
Ah. Yeah, I got you. It's weird how all the different countries have different superstitions.
Yeah, whenever I see 888, like Katie got 888 in her sprint the other day, I was thinking, oh, Whitney would love seeing that 888 number if she did that sprint. Not just because it was a good sprint, but just the fact it's the luckiest number there is.
It's lucky, is it?
Yeah, because I think 8 signifies like infinity, and if you got 3 of them. 4's like death, the death number, which is funny because I live at 44, but luckily Whitney's not too fussed about it.
You have to like put 1 4 upside down or something, just like the number 13 for cyclists.
Yeah, and I think number 13's, there's nothing really significant about it. I think it might even be lucky. Oh no, actually no, it is really unlucky, I remember now. So that if you go to some apartment complex, there's no number 13 floor.
No.
Well, is it because of the community in London that's Chinese, or is it just it could just be a more general thing, but definitely for Chinese people, 8 is the number to have. Oh, there's a hot girl in my chat. Don't leave my chat for the hot girls though. How do I get rid of most of it? Remove. Where's Santa Claus gone? I can't keep up with Santa Claus. It's gone too fast for me. I'm in the wrong gear. I really should plug my Di2 charger in, shouldn't I? I'll change the training difficulty for the hill. There we go. I went to change gears. The problem is, no, I'm going to be grinding up this hill, aren't I?
When's your main Christmas dinner? Is it tomorrow or today?
Yeah, it'll be tomorrow, but my family's... So my mum's in Germany, my dad's in Murwillumbah.
Oh.
My sister's in Canberra, well my other sister's in Germany. My brother's down the south coast of New South Wales, I think. So I'm kind of happy because Whitney's organised lots of work tomorrow because her students in China got holidays, and being Christmas, it's not a really big thing for them. So she's actually got a lot of work that day. So I've got a bit of free time to go riding the bike.
Oh, that's nice. I always find the Christmas Day rides are quite good because there's slightly less traffic in the morning and everyone's really friendly. Like even the dog walkers wave and say hello, and it's nice.
Yeah, people aren't all cranky because they're trying to get everything done in the morning before they go to work.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go through the rollers. Yeah, we're going to do that too, John. We're going to go through the city. Have a good night. I'm going to, after this, I'm going to drive through the city and look at the Christmas tree lights of the Whitney.
They have like a big tradition of like how many lights they can get up, sort of thing. Or is
It's
it?
not as crazy in America, but yeah, they've got a big Christmas tree and stuff. It's kind of odd though because it's obviously stinking hot, so there's no snow around. It's just tinsel on the lights.
Yeah, it must be weird having Christmas in the warm.
Well, it's weird not having Christmas in the warmth. it's just what Christmas in Australia is basically hot summer's day with family outside most of the time, and then the next day you watch the Sydney to Hobart yacht race and the cricket, the Boxing Day test. So it's weird for us to have anything but like a hot stinking day. When it's a really cold day, we're like, this doesn't feel like Christmas.
Is Sydney Hobart a big thing that everyone watches, or is it just the sailing community?
It is like the big talking point at that time of the year. I don't know how many people watch it, but everyone knows that it's on. I'm not sure if it was because when I was younger I was more into it, and now that I'm older and more cynical, but it does feel like it was a bigger thing when I was younger. But maybe it's just because people don't watch live TV as much as they used to. Now everyone's on YouTube or streaming services.
With Australia,
Or TV.
they've got the biggest fleet of the 100-footers. So Sydney, Hobart's always where like you get 5 or 6 100-foot Supermaxes come together and race. So it's always quite a good spectacle.
Like it's definitely, if you turn the live TV on, it's definitely the big news story besides the cricket. And the spectacle of leaving the harbour, the fleet leaving the harbour, is shown live.
Yeah. There's a British boat that's gone over for it this year. That's won like the Fastnet, the Middle Sea, like the big races in Northern Hemisphere, with the same sort of size.
Look like my foot slipped.
I think they're one of the favourites. The overall win. Be interesting to watch them.
Yeah, it's gotten stupidly fast in the last few years. They finish it too quickly. I remember it used to be a lot, well, it didn't always be, but it went for a couple more days.
Yeah, it's just, it depends what the weather systems are. If you've got a reach or downwind, the big boats can do it in like 24 hours.
Yeah, I don't know what the record is, but it's definitely ridiculously fast now. It was probably maybe a decade ago now. They had a terrible year where they basically decided that it was stupidly dangerous and irresponsible for them to sail because so many people lost their lives.
Yeah, because that was the tragedy, wasn't it? That was 1 year.
Yeah, they just, I remember the coverage, it was just basically another stricken yacht, another drowned sailor. I think kind of when that happened, I think a little bit of shine came off the race.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of safety that goes into it now is pretty insane. All of the races are, there's so many rules and regs that you've got to follow. So I think it's a good thing that stuff like that happens, or not that it's good, but it just keeps everyone in the back of their mind.
In my chat, John Bowles said he's done 2 Sydney to Hobart, 1998. Maybe he's talking about 1998 was when it was terrible. It might be when he did it. I do like it when they do the coverage where the reporter does the coverage on the boat live until they leave the harbour.
Jumps in.
And then they jump off.
That's proper scary because you realise how fast they're going, and if you do fall in, like in 10 seconds, you're pretty much out of sight.
Yeah, that's what I like
scary.
watching it, because it actually demonstrates how damn fast they are going.
When you got all that sail up as well, it takes so long to get all the sail down and turn back.
Which boat were you in, John? James is who I'm talking to is trying to get into the America's Cup as forgotten what you call it, but basically they use leg power for hydraulic systems now. So he's been training
Done my workout
to try and get into one of the crews.
Got half hour to get ready before we go up, so I'll speak to you later.
Yeah, I should
Have a
go
good
too.
Christmas.
Whitney's going to get the shits with me. It's already 10:05 here.
Alright. Have a good one and speak to you later.
See you, James.
Ciao. Bye.
Yeah, what boat were you on, John? Forgotten how to exit Discord. Oh, there we go. Oh, need my feather for this little tiny bump. Just trying to think. 1998. Yeah, Eden's pretty much the last port of call, isn't it, before you get into the strait. My brother we used to live in Hobart when we were younger for 2 years, and my brother ended up waking up in the middle of the night whilst my parents are watching the yachts come into the harbour at probably 9:30 at night, and we had a sliding glass window into the room, and he came running towards them and ran straight into the sliding glass window and smashed it, ended up cutting his forehead up pretty badly. So we spent the night at the hospital with all the other drunkards, well, not all the other drunkards, with the drunkards from the Sydney to Hobart. How did you get into it, John? Were you a sailor before that, or was it through knowing someone? I'm such a fraidy cat when it comes to the ocean. It's damn big. I don't like being in it, because the long distance between you and the next bit of land. When I was in the Solomon Islands visiting my grandparents, when my grandfather used to work for the Papua New Guinea police, flying helicopters, we were at Rabaul. There was a place called Submarine Point where the Japanese used to bring their submarines into the caves. It's one of those points on the Pacific where the land just disappears. So you walk out ankle deep water for about 30 metres and it just plummets. Crystal clear water. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff. And I was so scared just to step out. I felt like I was going to fall. I'd get into the water and get about 3 or 4 metres away from the edge and come back in. I was worried I wasn't coming back. End up in New Zealand if I was lucky. Yeah, James was telling us that too, because we Piglet doesn't drink. I don't drink. Carl and I'm not sure about Gunner. Well, I'm pretty certain Gunner drinks, but James was saying that The wind goes so well around sailors. Oh. There you go, Steve. Did you do one of these races? Or 4 of these races? I'm on the anti-Harry training plan. 37 RPM. 35. Definitely lucky I'm not on flats at the moment. Oh. I wonder how accurate the power ratings are at such low RPM. I remember a few years ago, a lot of chat about people riding around really low RPM on Zwift because it inflates your power. Can't imagine doing that for the whole race though, Jesus. Don't know why I'm still riding around. I just can't stop. It was worth it for Pete's comment though. I've got to take Whitney. I'd like to take Courtney too, but I don't think Whitney would be too happy. Thanks, John. I'm going to stop when I get to through the finish banner. I'll stop. I really should have stopped half an hour ago. This is definitely junk miles, isn't it? Junk miles with a chain too. There's Santa Claus. yeah, I know. Have fun with the family, John. Oh, that runner, bloody... What's he doing? Get off the road. I never realised that crossover there. Maybe it's because there's not many runners on Zwift. You better move a bit faster than that, Santa Claus, if you're going to deliver everything tonight. You would have been able to stand up, Pete. Just hold it up. Touch the bottom easily. Another, I've got to get to 36 kilometres to get extra points. What's my graph looking like? Look at that. Do you reckon I can get a critical power? Why is it nowhere near it? Only 200 watts off. Pretty close. Longest ride in 9 months. What's happened, Steve? You were smashing it last time, I remember. Mind you, it was a long time ago. When you were off to the... I know, didn't you get... What happened? You got sick or something? I remember something bad happened when you went to Jindabyne. Oh, I should stop. I've got to stop. I've got to stop. That. Have they changed anything on this bike since I've been on Zwift? Oh, I still got the shitty. No, I still got mechanical shifting. Or is it the DI2? I think it's the old Dura-Race 9000. It's hard to tell. It's dark. Something looks different about those shifters though. Something different. Yeah, COVID in Australia's really taken off, hasn't it? Josh, my aero teammate, got it, and also the other Josh, the two Joshes. But Josh Harris is qualified for Worlds, but he just got COVID last week. That's a good thing about cycling, is that fitness comes and goes, but you never lose the ability to get better again. Well, you do eventually, but let's not talk about that. But as you can see with Phil, you can lose fitness quickly, but you can get it back. That's what I enjoy actually, is getting the fitness back. Alright, I better go, otherwise Whitney's going to get the shits. See you all later. I'll do my ghosting. Ooh. I can't see though. I can't see to leave the stream. Bye.
Good job, boys. Good job.